I can't hear anything.
Sound.
Energy up on this. Okay? Any other visitors or any other announcements? Hey, Karen?
Canceled the cleanup
Oh, yeah.
on Saturday because it was raining, and I just wanna know from the club if we wanna just cancel it or reschedule it.
Rescheduled.
Schedule, doesn't matter what weekend,
No.
okay, I'll just, I'll be done, please.
Okay, so the community cleanup will be rescheduled and Karen will let us know what date is rescheduled to, and then we can let Interact. So we're working with the high school kids also. Let Interact know that they can come help us with the community cleanup. Any other announcements?
Well, you mentioned Interact, they're having, Broadwater is having their first meeting this year, next Tuesday.
Broadwater was at the first meeting.
Next Tuesday.
Okay, who is active, you and who else is active with Interact here? Right.
Jason's in charge.
Jason, thank you, Jason.
Hmm.
Okay, Jason and Bill.
I'm flipping over you.
Okay,
I'm Jason's helper.
okay.
And so we're meeting with the potential members of the club on Tuesday. And so what is it, 40 plus kids?
Punch.
Bunch. They seem to be pretty motivated, so I'll be able to report a little better. Well, let's see, it'll be following week. Unless you come to the satellite club. Unless that's the second to do so. So I guess we'll just see how it all plays out. I think last year, those 40 plus kids at Broadwater, and they're neck and grease, so it should be fun. But I'll have some more information forthcoming.
Any other announcements?
Stanley and Graham are on Zoom.
Okay. Hello, Sammy and Graham, welcome.
Aye.
Yes, all right. Okay, and so now we will have any happy dollars. Bill?
I am terribly happy to the tune of $10, just on general principle. Principle of what? General principle.
Who's he?
Say because Diane joined.
That too.
Okay, general principle because Diane.
Okay, that's $20.
That's up to him. He said 10.
Oh, that's it,
There's something like 10, 10, 10, 10, and 10 million. We have 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. All right. So it's 10 now, Bill, and 10. You'll remember. Oh.
Dollars, 10 happy dollars and 10 sad dollars. This will be my last meeting. Moving back to family in Jersey. It is sad. I thank Chip for giving me a Gone Away song. Really, but we're sad.
Any other happy dollars?
Yeah, I can give another $10.
Hey.
Because Cheryl, just Cheryl and John McDowell, but Cheryl just walked in with a Riverside sticker that says patient. I think that deserves a $10 happy dollar.
Okay, another $10, all right. So here it is. Okay, hope you're feeling better.
Do or die Rotary.
Do or die Rotary, you guys wanna come to Rotary no matter what. Any other happy dollars? Awesome, beautiful. All right, now we have Queen of Hearts. Okay? Okay, I'll just, okay, who has what cards? Who has the highest card for the day? I card.
Yeah, put your glove here.
King of clubs.
Good. Who beat that?
I don't believe it.
Come on.
Somebody finds the race. Take the top one. Good. Oh, I got it.
How the jack of diamonds. Yeah, okay. Tear it up. And then torn up. All four, Diane. Okay, it's time to tear it up. Okay, so, what we have in the day? Oh, okay, we'll find out.
Cheryl. You okay?
Yes. Thank you for tearing that card for me, Bill. Hopefully it didn't stress anything. Tearing that card.
Bernie.
I got a early on that one, okay. All right. So, and our treasurer's counting up money. I'll introduce our speaker, Jennifer Albano, nurse practitioner, who has multiple labels and addresses, and I will let her introduce herself for the complete picture of her life. Okay, then we'll talk about the money later. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm gonna
Jennifer.
put this right here. Yes.
Need to stay.
Okay. I don't want to be in front of them. But I didn't want to have that stuff. I know that's fine. That's no good. If I stand in front of that, then it goes south.
But you stand in front of me.
Okay,
You won't get it then.
all right, there we go. That slide down there. I feel like I'm on you then. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to talk a little bit about an organization today called Villages in Partnership. I call it VIP. I've been volunteering with them for the past 12 years. I've been to Malawi, Africa 12 times. I choose to stay with this organization because they are sustainable. I wanted y'all to have their website information because I know in this brief presentation, I'm not going to be able to do any kind of justice to the work they're doing in Malawi. But I go there because this is my life and I do wear a lot of hats. And the same reason that I go to Malawi, Africa is the same reason I chose to come over here and serve with Eastern Shore Rural Health. I started at Bayview, it'll be 12 years ago in January. And I'm now at Eastville and I'm the clinical director there. And I feel like God has given me gifts and I need to take them and share them with my neighbors here in Northampton County, as well as across the world in Malawi, Africa. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we go. And I just want people to understand that Malawi is one of the poorest nations in the world. And we're talking level 1 poverty. And people who have never, we think in America, we know what poverty is, but we don't, right? If you don't have food today, then you can maybe go get SNAP benefits, you can get food stamps, or you can reach out to a local church or whatever. If your family in Malawi has a poor growing season, you starve to death. That's the reality of that. Level 1 poverty looks like your transportation is your bare feet, okay? If you're not familiar with poverty levels, level 1 is Malawi, level 4 is America. Most people in the world live in the level 2, level 3. So Villages in Partnership works in 6 critical areas, trying to move people from level 1 poverty to level 2 poverty. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how they do that. The problem in Malawi is they don't have natural resources infrastructure. The government has no money. So there's no just, oh, we're going to tax the people and get some money to do these things. In level 1 poverty, your housing is maybe you have an adobe brick hut that you made with a thatched roof. The rain is coming in on you at night. You're sleeping either on the dirt, or if you're really lucky, you have a mat underneath of you, right? Level 2 poverty, maybe you've got something to lift you off the ground a little bit and you've got tin on the roof, so at least the rain isn't coming in, but you're still in an adobe structure. So even going to level 2 poverty is nothing like what we would think. There's no running water, there's no electricity. The people we serve are subsistence farmers. The average yearly income is $650. 5% of the population are orphans. I can't tell you how many child-led homes that Frank and I have been to. And you know, these are kids that have been raising their younger siblings since they were 9 years old. And then 85% of the population there do live as subsistence farmers. So where we serve is not on the map. I know this is really hard to see, but just, you know, if you're not familiar with the continent of Africa, Malawi is kind of southeast, it's landlocked, so it's got no water next to it. It's flanked by Mozambique and Tanzania, above South Africa. It does, at the northern part of the country, have one of the largest lakes in Africa, which is Lake Malawi. So up in the north, they do have some tourism at least, right? But down south where we serve, which is between Zomba and Blantyre, the area we serve in literally is not on a map. We call it the Sakata region. And this little thing was done actually by a student who came over with a GPS, who was an engineering student, and was just trying to figure out where our villages were in relation to each other and to Zomba, which is the nearest town from us, which is about a 20-minute drive. Not that anyone there has cars but us. So the next slide just kind of talks about the 6 areas of focus, okay? So if you go into a rural village in Malawi and you build a school, you're going to come back 6 months later and no one's going to be in the school. Why?
Nobody to teach.
Well, there's nobody to teach. They're working, right? Dad got sick,
Yes.
right? No desks. That's excellent. But it's super complicated, right? Because if you don't have food and you don't have water, your kids are working the field and they're walking on average in Africa, in Malawi. People walk 30 minutes to get to a water source that's not clean and not safe. Okay. And Water is life. Water is everything. You know, it's not just for drinking, it's cooking, it's bathing, it's washing your clothes. So the kids are then collecting that. And if you, so that first slide is actually, believe it or not, it's food. Okay, because it's a solar irrigation scheme that we have on there. So they focus on food, water, healthcare, education, economic development, and infrastructure. And so the way that happens is you have to do all 6 things at one time. Because just like I just said with the building a school and it's empty because the kids are working because dad got sick because there was no health care. And, you know, the bridge washed out because they built that bridge. I mean, that's a typical thing you'll find crossing a stream that washes out. You can't even get to the school, right? So if you're not addressing all 6 areas at one time, nothing works. And VIP doesn't come in and say, hey, we think you need, right? They go, they sit down with the village chief and they say, we understand you want to be a part of Villages in Partnership, which started with one project in one village and is now serving 29 villages. We impact really about 60,000 people. We directly serve about 30,000. And so they say, what do you think you need? And as an example, that Conda Health Center, which is beautiful, and I did get asked if I picked that route because it looked like the rural health route. So, but they said we want a health. Now that's huge. We had never been asked for anything like that project. It's basically a hospital. We're birthing 400 babies a year there. It has eye, it has dental, and it has outpatient. It's run by 2 providers and 3 midwives. That's what they have for staffing. There's a doctor for every 88,000 people in Malawi. So next time we're feeling sad that we don't have access, dentist, about 1 for every 400,000 people. We have 2 clinicians in our catchment area and a dentist, which is unheard of. Our people walk on average about 5 minutes for water, and it's a well. It's not an unsafe source. So they asked us for a clinic, and we literally, praise the Lord, sat at my table at Randolph and kind of planned this place. And we said, well, do you have land to donate? Do you have people who are willing to go lay the foundation? Do you have this? So the Americans kind of we bring technology, we bring money, right? We help with the infrastructure, but they have to be willing to do all the things, and they are. They're willing, and they're more than willing. This man on the far right, we call him Candu. Anusa is his name. Frank is reminding him, but we call him Candu because every single initiative VIP has brought to this man, he has taken and he has run with. So he's holding honey because he got taught how to be a beekeeper, right? And so not only does he have honey, but he has started making candles, right? That he can go and sell in Zomba. And so these are the things that move people from level 1 to level 2 sustainably. What poverty looks like. And these are just a couple pictures. We started over the past couple of years taking people, when we do home visits, we visit some people who are too sick to get to clinic, but we start taking people to a level 1 house and a level 2 house so they can just see the dramatic difference. So the middle picture at the top, that's a level 1 house. They actually did have concrete in this part on the floor, which was amazing in itself, but what you don't see in this picture purposely, there was a lady in the corner dying, and we had gone to see her, and this is her family who's been taking care of her. And so we went to care for her and dress her wounds and see if we could get her some pain management and do some things while we were there, which in that country, pain management's ibuprofen. So we were visiting her. These other pictures are a couple who used to live similarly to this house, but they started with banana plants, and then they started doing beekeeping, and then they started doing goats. And so all these different initiatives, which you'll find on the site, have now provided for them to have pin on the roof. They have a lighting there. I don't know if y'all see that, but that's unheard of. It's solar electricity in a village. These are things that do not happen, okay? They had like a water tank inside where they could actually bring stuff in from the well and hold water in their home. Again, unheard of. That building out back is actually a building that has a kitchen and like an ante room and then a room for their young children to live in. Again, that's not the main house, unheard of. That's nicer than a typical home. And that's an accessory building for them. Usually you're just taking outside. So it's the difference in going from level 1 to level 2. It's still to us like, you can't imagine living like that, but this is amazing for them. So the next slide I wanted to show you, this is just kind of the medical team. I don't have time to get into what happens. My role in VIP is I am on the health committee. So I kind of help plan things like the medical team trip, which I totally, and like I said, have been on 12 times now. I've taken a team as small as 9 up to a team of 32. It is comprised mostly of nurses, nurse practitioners, physician assistants. We occasionally get a doctor. I'd love to have more doctors. I see 2 in the room. And so you see this picture where people are sitting and you see the army tent in the background. So basically we take buildings that are not clinics and we set them up like a mesh unit, right? So we carry over some supplies we buy there. Hundreds of people walk for miles to sit in the dirt, to wait for hours to see us, and they are so grateful. And we see everything from scabies to pneumonia to HIV to, I can't even name all the things. And a lot of things that no problem treating. Your kids die from there. This second picture is me just putting this child with cerebral palsy into a jogging stroller. We have a physical therapist that we've been working with there because there's a huge population out in Conda before we built this clinic. Birth injuries, right? Hydrocephalus, cerebral palsy, all kinds of problems. And so carrying these jogging strollers over means for mom, she's not carrying this child everywhere while she's gathering water, while she's cooking, it is just a life changer. So just being able to take those over. And then it requires us to really partner with a lot of different people, whether that is friends, it's churches, it's organizations like MAP, Vitamin Angels, AmeriCares, Blessings International. I've already been working on the May trip for a couple of months. I spend about 6 months collecting supplies. So we have everything from an Amazon wish list for over-the-counter stuff to, asking people for things like jogging strollers. And then we've been very blessed that our church has sponsored the cost of our trip because it costs about $9,000 for Frank and I to go every year. And they have sponsored that for the past 10 years. Yeah. So that's the trip dates. If you are interested in going, you do not have to be a medical provider. There are also friendship trips, which are a lot less intense, quite frankly. But you can go on the website, you can fill out an interest form, it comes to me, and you'll get a general thing from VIP, and then I'll also email you. And then, you get all the further information. So the Rotary has actually been in Malawi, and I took Harry McCabe. There's a chapter in Malawi. I'm glad Frank's here, not only to run the slides, but to keep him in task. And so Harry is a gentleman who is lovely. We took him with us in 2023. He went on the medical team trip. I think he regrets that a little bit. We were talking about it last night. The year that he went, I'm sure this is not on any of y'all's radar, but you can look it up, was Cyclone Freddy. We were there, we had 35 inches of rain in one day. It was the worst storm that Malawi has ever seen. We had houses that were washed away. People were living in our clinic where we run the clinic. It was unbelievable. It was a storm that bounced between Madagascar and Malawi for months. And it devastated. And I'll never forget driving out when we finally got off the farm, which is a whole nother story that I don't have time to tell. But driving out to see our people and just watching people by the side of the road, washing clothes, doing things like this is just normal life for them, right? 6 months of drought a year, 6 months of rain a year. Sometimes the cyclone comes, you just keep moving. But these are the things that set people back. You know, you're level 2 and then your whole harvest washed away because you have 35 inches of rain. So Harry went over there as foundation chair. They had set up through one of the grants, just like you were telling me about the international grant, right? And they partnered with us as the NGO to do this water sanitation and hygiene. And they drilled 5 wells. And so basically, you know, they handed all that off to the team in Malawi, right, to actually do the work. And that's the beautiful thing about villages in partnership and why it is sustainable. I've been to Nicaragua, I've been on the Coco River and served in medical missions. I don't do that anymore because it's not sustainable, right? We have, you know, staff that is Malawian. We have providers that are Malawian. You know, when I'm not there, health is still happening every single day. I don't need to be on the ground. People are like, are you going to move to Africa, Jen? I'm like, they don't need me to move to Africa. You know, they got it. They just need money. And part of why we keep taking the medical team over, yeah, of course, it, you know, encourages our brothers and sisters, and we do provide great health care. But it's to introduce more people to what it is actually like. Because I'm going to tell you, I can stand here, I could show you a million pictures, I could talk for 10 hours. I would get you on the ground, and it happens every year. People are in tears and they're like, I had no idea it was going to be like this. I meet with my team 3 Zoom calls in the 3 months before we go, not to mention all the emails, not to mention all the things. I tell them all these stories and we get there and they're always crying. There's always people crying. Night 1. I had no idea it was going to be like this. And I'm like, you can't prepare people. So that's kind of the Rotary in Malawi. Just, I wanted to give you a couple minutes if anybody had questions. Like I said, there's not time for me to go into all that happens with this organization, but there are people over every area. The medical team trip that I participate in is a drop in an ocean. So anything that I can just answer for anybody, because I know you have places to be.
What language do you speak there?
It's Chichewa, and we do have interpreters. Now, the official language is English. It was a British colony until 1968. And so if you're in the cities, everybody speaks English.
Oh.
Okay. But in the villages, everybody speaks Chichewa. Now, we've built a secondary school, primary school, right? We've refurbished a whole bunch of other primary schools. So the children are speaking English, and we have university students. We gave 13 scholarships this year. Our secondary school is like a flagship school with an unheard of precedent of graduates.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
So, you said university scholarship, so what kind of higher education is there, including for doctors?
Yeah, so the University of Malawi is actually probably, what do you think? An hour drive from our village? Yeah. Hour and a half drive from our village. So they go there and they live there, right? It's amazingly affordable. We sent 2 gentlemen to school to be our clinicians and had them sign a 5-year, you know, we'll work in the village 5 years, 10 years later, still there, still serving with us. It costs us $6,000 to send those 2 men to medical school. Yeah. Sorry about that. So, it's amazing. It's very affordable. And then we have a lot of them, most of them, I would say, come back to the villages to serve. Frank talked to one of the teachers there and he asked him, why do you come back there to serve? And he's like, to encourage the next generation,
Yeah, first of all, I want to share the two things that you said, so impressive. One is the 6 factors. That you can't just go in and say, let's fix this, let's fix this, fix this. It's around how you do the 6-factor interdependence, which is really your sustainability. Now, that's something that was created, that model created by. But I see that missing in many other parts of the world, like here in the US.
It is missing, and it's actually one of the things that we've been trying to put together here with serving together and some other things. But Liz Heinzel Nelson in 2008, pastor's wife from New Jersey, felt called to go live in Malawi, and it was them who kind of, they spent a year on the ground. They started going into the villages. She's the founder of VIP. And that was her vision, was like, if you don't, after talking to them and after all this, now I don't know, did she come on that from somewhere else? Possibly, I have no idea, right? And maybe it's just a gift from the Lord, but it's what works, right? Because if you don't fix it all at the same time, you don't get anywhere. Yes.
Jennifer, what level of poverty are the cities?
The cities are more like a 3, because then you've got a motor bike, you've got running water, you've got electricity,
And what percentage of the population is in the cities?
Oh,
2 or 3.
okay.
City.
Sorry?
It's not very city.
City Hartford. There are a lot of, when I say population, I'm talking general populations, people, Malawians. There are a lot of expats in Malawi, since it's a British colony. And a lot of these people live in the city or close by. But the population in the city is not very big.
And as far as cities, I mean, you have the Long Ways to Capital, which is way up north, and you have Blantyre, which was formerly, I believe, at some point. Yeah, and there's a couple others, but I mean, those are the 2 big cities, one north, one south. I said that, I know there's 3, but I mean, those are the 2 big ones.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
So, I'm still on this education. If you live in a village, the likelihood of becoming a doctor is really small.
It is, but I mean, that's where we're going with the whole, and I want you to visit the website and I want you to look at our secondary school. And I wish I had brought the video of Liz. It's on the computer. She could watch it later, but, so that was the idea behind building our secondary school, right? Because we had a primary school, because we're aging out. We had renovated some of the other primary schools, but to get to university, they had to have a secondary school, and there wasn't one in our catchment area. And so we were to the point where we could actually support that. And part of the reason that we do get good teachers is when we build a school or we build the clinic or whatever, we build housing for the employees. We put a garden out there, we put a well, and with the doctor's housing at the clinic, there is water and electricity. They actually have a flush toilet, which is unbelievable. So, which does, it's like, why are you even having this conversation? I better have a flush toilet. But, I mean, it's just not done, right? But then you don't have absenteeism with the teachers, right? Because they live right there on site. They love what they're doing. I mean, the teachers ask to be placed in our schools, right? And then again, on the website, you can buy desks, you can send a kid to school, pay their school fees, because that's another thing. And that's why we need to help them move to level 2. They have to pay school fees for their kids to go. It's not just a right. You don't just get to go to school. You need a uniform and you're paying fees. Right? And those kids, when you go into that classroom, they are so happy to be there. And you'll watch the teacher call on them and they'll stand up, yes, ma'am. And they'll give their answer. It's amazing. Amazing. Hardest working people I've ever met in my life. Yes.
So if I go on that website, will it tell me if we want to contribute to that effort?
It absolutely will. It'll give you a whole bunch of different ways to contribute. And I will also, you can get in touch with me. I'll put you in touch with Liz Heinzel Nelson, who would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I can talk about this all day.
This helps us to truly appreciate being here where we are today and to be able to share. Shall I bring you back up? And able to share what we have. We have a thank you, Jenna,
Oh,
for
well,
being here, and you
just
can
glad to be here.
have a choice between a mug and a wine glass.
Well, not that I drink, but I have a mug.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you for everything you're doing, not only here for these. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, now back to the important stuff. How much money was in
We had $19 and, Bill Bank got $5.
Bill Bank got $5, and how much is in the bank now? I'm sorry. We'll have that next meeting. Okay, 19 went to the bank, well, 19 total, Bill got 5, okay? Any other announcements or anything anyone would like to discuss?
Now $54 in the pot.
$54 in the pot, okay, it's getting there, because we just gave it away, when did you get it, Jason? Jason left.
Month and a half ago.
Month and a half ago. That's it, okay. Do we have any discussion? Thank you for everything. And we're also happy about the soccer club, and so happy to give it a light. Do you have any other? Yeah, Tommy?
Exmoor Rotary, Worcester, Spring City, is the 11th, October the 11th. I have tickets, if anybody's interested in buying them, they're $70 piece. And, you, even at the last minute, you can call me and I'll hold it for you at the door.
Oyster Rose, and where will it be held?
Exmoor Town Hall,
Export Town Park, October 11th,
11th from 5 to 8:30.
5 to 8:30. Okay? And it's all you can eat. All you can eat, and there's some good food out there. And it's only 20 minutes from here. Okay? All right. All right. And so if we have no other announcement for anything, you can stand and do our. Okay. It's the truth. Yes. Sir, and Stan, are you still on?
Yeah, he's on and he's waving his.
Yeah, okay. Will it be fun?
Will it be?
Yes, it will. Thanks, everybody.
I'm gonna be officially adjourned.
Thank you, everybody.
It's been.
Thank you. Frank, you're doing a good job. Yeah, I know.
Hey, did he eat? Okay.
Good job. Good dog. That's right, Jim.
And then here, step that down. It's 695. Just me.
You're right. You're right. I'm right.
Also.
Sure.
$1. But if you don't
Yeah, she's so yeah, I said that I was no. Thanks on over here. Well, I guess that's done. Done that is. But usually I'm not. That's true. Maybe it's. Maybe it's all right.
But that's only seven. Hey, Paul. Diane wants her, she wants her rotary book. Let's be every time you answer. Right. Great. Paul, let me change. You have another pen? Other pen?
This sounds kind of.
What do you want?
Charge you can and her cans, that has no difference. Second dollar, maybe for another
You
reason.
can put that on my bill, you know.
Stand for you.
Yeah, probably.
I'm joining her.
It's not, you know, like.
So
nobody's trying to jump to take it. No.
Okay, I gotta go.
Don't change the twenties.
All right.
Oh my God, I start getting.
I know, yes.
Try to fold it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Bill, for mentoring. Sorry, I mean, I have no more company coming down here.
Okay.
I'm healthy now, so we'll.
Paul is really serious about.
There's, and now it's just.
Package it all at once, because I mean, I'm waiting for something.
Oh, okay, all right.
I mean, whatever, you guys have to tell us what to do.
That's my mentor. That's it. Yeah. And you tell you, won't be much. Mostly have fun.
Well, but that's good. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. No, I can tell you this.
Yeah. We'll see you later. Hey, Frank, it was great. See you in food line. Probably. Stop in sometime. You're always welcome. You want me to put the screen on your car or you got it? Yeah, I'm going out. I'm going out that way. As it's stick it between the feet. Pete. Just stick it between the two feet. How you been?
Good, how are you?
Good.
What? Yeah. Oh, so you're not here now? Who is this sponsor? Hey. Yeah. Okay. Where are you now? Okay, go. Oh, good. No. Okay. Bye-bye.
You can't hear. You have to get right. He's like a stone. Stone. Were you gonna take it? No, his side coat. Alan.
You find Ken? Yeah. Did you find him? And he's getting a haircut. He just forgot to tell me he had a ride home. Oh, here I'm with you.
Take care.
Thank you. Yes.
All is well?
Everything's great, David.
Good.
Not as great as you, but
Oh,
pretty great.
trying to stay on top of stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I thought was impressive about what he said this. Sometimes we get caught up in different organizations, but no one who's pulling that together. So,
You know, the Rotary six principles are kind of like that.
yeah, no, I agree with that. I've got to see them, like what really occurred to me was the school-based program, others, and how that,
Integrating them.
how we integrate.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was very, that presentation made me a little sad.
What's that?
It makes you a little stoned. The presentation.
Oh, yeah, but there's a lot of places in the world like.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the question is, because it's big, it's federal question, USAID funding. So the question, is that because the funding wasn't getting to a sustainable solutions? Or was it because we're running out of money? Because I think we need to support these kinds of things around. Not a responsibility like that. It's concerned that it wasn't that it's been perceived that that money is not getting to the solution to something. It values.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But you have to try.
You have to try, oh, sure, and it's not immediate.
Yeah, and that's right.
You can't stay with it.
Well, Betty, I think you're getting this meeting thing pretty down.
As long as I have my little sheet here.
Oh, you don't need that.
It's gonna be fun. Honestly, I can read y'all's face. It's just like a book I can read. I think, oh, I'm out of order. Okay.
Let me check.
Like reading a book. Y'all got this down, you really do. Let me make one note that next week,
Oh, I sent you an email.
before I forget, who is that?
It's Dave, David, Wilcox.
Maybe go back.
That,
Go watch that, David's question. David, go. Right on.
In November, I got a speaker who could only make the club some.
Our rules, everybody is gonna change that some people will move back to the 11th and 18th of the
Okay,
Got
I didn't want to commit without checking with you.
it. You can do it, and like I said, as long as the assembly is after the exec meeting, in case anything comes out in the meeting, share it with the members.
Yeah.
You can still do it the same day.
That,
I will check.
that's your call, thank you. Oh, I wouldn't do anything without checking with you.
Half the stuff, I know much I do with them. Calling you about it.
But.
The thing is, uh, even if we didn't have an assembly, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I look at it as extended fellowship. And that's what we're all about, fellowship. Next week, Karen Jolly David from there. Do a song, Sheriff is going to be the brand chief. Are you talking to me or your phone? I was talking to you. I dictated it in my phone, but he wasn't going to be here. Okay. Was going to be leading the song next week, because people be playing brand date. Oh, okay. No problem. A monkey can lead the song. Well, the monkey needs to read to figure out a page, everybody else couldn't read it, and sing it without a page number. I didn't like today's song. I like it, I like it upbeat. But it looks like this, Dollar General is almost ready. I know. He was playing that name, but good. How's Jackie doing? She's good. Good. She's working on her health program for next year, the insurance. So it's online and she's saying, oh, these people are crazy. Yes, they are. Every year is something different. We're living too long. They hate the fact that we're really have human beings taking care of it because we're living too long. And so they're trying to find ways to shortcut it. It ain't right. Young people are dying younger now. You're over the same years, and so our age is not so good. Okay. All right, say hello to Paul. I will. I will. All right. Let me check that everything. Where's that? Oh, okay. She's good, born, raised here, day after high school, went up to Philly and never come back. And so she's up there at a nursing home, trying to get her close back to her home family. How's she doing? She's hanging in there, slowly. Yeah, she ain't living forever. Forever, but at the rate she's going, heck, you don't get up there and say, she might outlast you. Get there. Okay. That's just the feeling. Used to be a nice little 5 hour, 4 hour buzz up there, so it's a pain in the. I know what you mean. Yeah, talk to you later. Okay, see you later. That's no with. I'm good. Sure? Done now. Okay, all right. the place back in shape after we messed it up, rearranged everything.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, you hate that?
That's it, I'm done.
I hate my shoes.
Weekend, yeah,
You hear that?
yeah.
I hate that. See you next week, if not before.
Yes, sir, I'll be here. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.